Hello, listeners for Silver Tent Radio. It's Kay Shelton here, and I'm doing this recording today from Bundaberg in Queensland, Australia. My guest today is Leonie Bartlett, and as much as she's been a Bundaberg lady for a lot of her life, she is now a resident of Nanango, which is another little regional Queensland town. So welcome, Leonie Bartlett from Essentially Joy.
Thank you. Thanks, Kay. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to come on and have a chat.
Good. Some of you might be aware of Leonie with her, what do you call it? Your laughter yoga, is it?
Laughter yoga. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And her business is called Essentially Joy, and really Leonie is essentially joy, and I feel that the yoga laughter really summation of
I don't know whether it's a nervous thing or what, but it just sort of happens.
a summation of who you are and what you're capable of bringing forward for other people, Leonie. It is a joy. So, Leonie, I'll invite you to introduce yourself to our listeners and just share some of your story that's brought you to where you are today with the work you do.
Thanks, Kay. Okay, so I guess for me a little bit of my story is essentially joy. Where I got it from is I was sitting one day just reflecting, and it was like, what is it that we all want or we need? And essentially it's joy. Excuse me, the nervousness is coming through. And I thought, essentially joy. So that was how that name came about. And it's just the joy of being. Not a happiness in external circumstances, but a joy from your heart, just the joy of being alive. So for me, I guess that comes from the importance of that comes from my experience, where I'll go back to when my husband died in a car accident when I was 23, 2 little boys, and not expecting that, and I was devastated. My heart broke, and so I just shut that part of myself off. It's taken a long time, many years of inner work to allow my heart to open again, to allow trust in my life again. And I feel like my move to Nanango in the last couple of months has brought me home. I feel my heart has finally opened to much more than just a happiness for where I am. It's a joy for life. And I guess as I feel that joy, that's what comes back to me. And I'm just amazed at how when we allow our hearts to open, there is just so much love and so much joy there for us to experience. And it's those pains, those challenges in life and those pains that we experience that close us off from experience, and from experiences of joy, from experiences of happiness. And so we have to learn. We have to, at some point in time, learn to forgive life, forgive God, if that's what you want to call the universe. Forgive life for the pains that we suffered. But through those pains and those sorrows, we have the gift, we have the potential to find our joy. That joy that's inherent within each one of us when we actually come onto the planet, when we're born. That is just something that's inborn, and we lose it through those experiences, those challenging and painful experiences of life. So I think, yeah, that's probably a little bit of where I'm at.
Yeah. So, Leonie, this didn't all just magically happen, that you went from that deep grief to joy. So what were some of the tools you found and used along the way?
Well, I guess my main tool would be Reiki. And more specifically, Reiki Jin Kei Do. When I learned Reiki, it took me off in another direction. I was working very much in the health and fitness industry at the time, teaching aerobics and gym work and all that sort of stuff. And one day it was just like, there's got to be more to life than this. And I was introduced through a friend that did massage at the gym. I was introduced to Reiki. So I went along and I learned, and I thought, there's something about this that rings true for me. And so I started giving myself daily treatment, working with people as well. And then a couple of years later, I was drawn to Reiki Jin Kei Do, which is an Eastern lineage of Reiki that also incorporates meditation. So meditation became an integral part of my daily life, along with giving myself Reiki daily. And that, I guess, opened up so many doors or experiences to other things. So Reiki has always been my one seat where I go back to when it seems like, God, nothing's working. And my own teacher says, have you sent Reiki to it, Leonie? And I think, oh, well, no, I sort of didn't think about that. So it's always coming back to that one seat, finding that joy and that love. For me, Reiki just represents love. That's what it is. It's an energy. It's a higher energy, and it's a loving, joyful energy. That's the tool I've mainly used. There's been many other tools that I've used, like Ho'oponopono, Access Consciousness. I've tried so many things. I always come back to Reiki. It's so simple.
I fortunately had the joy of meeting Leonie many years ago when we both started Reiki. And I actually did Reiki level 2 with you, Leonie, didn't I?
You did. I remember that.
You've moved towns, and you've relocated. And anyway, now you're very settled in your new home in Nanango. Yeah. And so what have you been working on since you've been there?